All right, so we're just off of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Instant reaction. OKC beats the Pacers 123 to, I think, 107.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or Jalen Williams or Chet Holmgren watches the videos because they did exactly what we told them to do, which was play better. You don't got to play perfect ball, which they didn't, but they played so much better offensively in
Yep.
order to. And then that also carried over in their defense as well to stop the Pacers as well. They forced still a good amount of turnovers, I think like plus 15. So they still forced a good amount of turnovers. They won that turnover battle. They won the rebounding battle, and
Yep.
their bench went stupid. Caruso had 20. Aaron Wiggins, I think, almost had 20. And then Shea had 30. Chet had 15. I think Jalen Williams had 18. And they were just the better team on the night. That's all it was. And Tyrese Halliburton didn't really get going until like the last like 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. Well, it's like, well, damn, thank you for showing up. It took you a little bit, Tyrese. Please, maybe you could show up a little bit earlier. Maybe that would be helpful because the Pacers really needed his scoring tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I totally agree with everything that you said. I think this game was clearly won in the second quarter. The Pacers were outscored. I have the number here. Like 21 to 30, 21 to 33. Um, and every other quarter was close except for the second quarter. And I think the Pacers played a really good game one. Their bench scored. Their defense was hot. Ty Halliburton was doing his thing, and you got the balanced lineup that you want to see from them. But this is the inconsistency of this team, right? You saw the other side of it, where if Tyrese is not really clicking and they're not hitting their shots, they don't produce a lot of offense. And it's not they played a bad game, but you cannot play down this OKC team because they're always going to score. Like I know we talked about it about game one, their lack of scoring and all that. They still scored almost 115 points. This team can still score on off nights. So you know, Indiana cannot let up at all in this series, especially at any quarter, because OKC will pounce on them, right? And OKC did exactly what they needed to do. SGA did his thing. The bench came through. Caruso had a big night. Hardenstein had a big night. I think he had like 15 rebounds or something. That's huge from him. That's how he needs to play. Um, and yeah, I think what you saw from OKC is their perfect game. This is what they do every night. Defensively, they force turnovers. They're quick on the ball. They get steals. They collapse in the paint really well, and they hit their threes and wide open shots. This is what they do, right? So all of that is how they play. Now, for Indiana, what you saw was them kind of missing their shots, being inconsistent, and their bad defensive scheme sometimes. And when they're giving up 120 points, they're not winning. They're not. And I think you saw that because OKC hit their shots and because OKC was such an offensive juggernaut, if Indiana can't match that, they are going to lose the rest of the way going forward. So I don't know. I mean, I think what you're going to see now is you're going to see which team's going to come out playing their style better. Is it going to be OKC or is it going to be Indiana in Game 3? That to me is going to be the big indicator here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And the first quarter, right, I was watching it. I'm like, all right, both teams, right? Nobody really took over the quarter, right? Even though OKC was up, I didn't feel like it was like crazy. Like Pacers, they were off by like one shot made from each other. So I'm like, all right, they're playing similar style right now. And then that second quarter, I think they went on like a 19 to something run, like 19 zip
Yeah.
or 19-2 run. Like they were going crazy in the second quarter. And then that just kind of spilled over into the rest of the game, into the second half. And it's when Shea is the primary ball handler and he's in that pick and roll, and he's able to get into the lane and draw help, and there's a wide open shooter, and they hit those shots like they did tonight, they will beat you 100 out of 100 times because you don't have the defense to stack up against them. They have the defense to always stack up against you. It just so
Yeah.
happens if they're going to be playing good that night. You have to pray for an off night. Again, this is how good this team is. You have to pray for an off night. You have to pray for them to make unforeseen mistakes from them. And you have to literally prey on their downfall. And OKC, they did a great job. Aaron Wiggins was really good in this game. He had a lot of good threes. Alex Caruso had good defensive plays and also hitting his threes. And Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren had good bounce back games. And if they could get that consistently throughout the rest of the series, maybe not the bench scoring production wise, but just the production from the starters was enough to, I feel like, carry the load offensively from for OKC.
Yeah, and I think building off your point there, like OKC, you've seen it throughout these playoffs, will have a game where they won't score and their offensive output won't, like, they'll have off nights and they just won't be as prolific offensively. You've seen it in their Grizzlies series, you saw it in the Denver series, you saw it a game in the Minnesota series, and you saw it game one. OKC does let up, but you haven't seen it consistently enough to where it's a problem, right? So you're not expecting them to have another off night or another off game at any point because they got that out of the way. That's out of their system now, right? Maybe you'll get another one, but can I see it happening 4 times? Probably not, right? Exactly. So I think that's where Indiana will kind of have the perfect game. Have to play at least one perfect game and really truly beat OKC in a shootout to really take this NBA Finals, right? Because I think what you're going to see is what you saw tonight. Is you're going to see the defensive pressure. You're going to see them hitting their shots. You're going to see GA running pick and roll all night and just piecing apart that Indiana defense. And it's just going to be a complete wash the next 3 games, right? So unless, Rick Carlisle can come with a good defensive scheme and offensively they hit their shots, which they need to, you'll see a much more competitive game. But here it was just complete. Like, you can't really say domination, right? Like, you can't really say that because if you look at the scoring, they were down 6 after 1, and then you had the second quarter happen. But then after that, it was 33-34 third quarter, and then it was 32-31 fourth quarter. So like, or 33-30. Indiana actually won the fourth quarter again. So Indiana are not like getting blown out. They're not getting crushed. They're not getting like defeated. But all it took was one run in the second quarter to completely end this game. That's all OKC needs. Is one really good run, and Indiana can't catch up. And that's a credit to OKC in that they also need to hit their shots. They need to execute. But Indiana also needs to force them into turnovers, force them into defensive efforts, and force them into and put pressure on them to hit their shots, which they didn't have to put pressure on them tonight because OKC has such a far ahead lead, which we talked about after game 1. Is OKC, if they have a big lead going to the fourth, they're gonna win.
Yeah. So for me, what does Indiana have to do in game 3? Tyrese Halliburton, you have to be a scorer first. I don't want you even think you should not have more assists than points coming out of this game. You have to be the guy off a pick and roll to score. I don't care what it is. The team goes where you go. Okay? You can't wait until the fourth quarter to try to make some comeback magic because that's not going to happen every single game. That happens once a game per series, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to score immediately. I need to see him take 25 shots next game. I need that because then it's just going to open up the rest of the offense for everybody else because they're solely focused on everybody else and not you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I and like they kind of have to they for me their defensive rotations are ugly, very ugly. When Shea is just carving up your pick and roll defense, and when you send two to the ball, he just splits right through it easy. There's nobody there, and then there's wide open three. You have to give more effort than that. You just have to. So effort on defense, and Tyrese Halliburton needs to be a scorer first. Because if Tyrese Halliburton's a scorer first, I feel like it opens up their offense way more, and he'll just be more aggressive, and they'll actually be looking to stop Tyrese, and then it could open up everything else. Because they weren't really, like, they had him on seatbelt this entire game until the fourth quarter, which he can score. He can get by this defense and can get his shots off. It's just that he doesn't do it enough to the point where you're like, Tyrese, good job. You got to do it more. He needs to be taking the amount of shots that Shea takes. That's what he needs to do. So we'll see for Indiana in Game 3. We'll see.
Yeah, and I agree with I was just looking at the numbers real quick. He had 13 shot attempts in this game. Not enough. He had 13 shot attempts in game 1 as well, but they won that game. Shai had 21 shot attempts in this game, which makes sense. That's around his average. But you're right. I think Halliburton has to kind of establish himself as the legitimate star on the Pacers because the ball sharing and getting the ball out of his hands doesn't work. So definitely need to see a bigger game from him. He needs to at least match Shea scoring. I agree with that. I think if you're OKC, I think what I want to see from them is I want to see consistency now. I want them to go out in Game 3 and just do the exact same thing. Defensive pressure, really quick on the ball, Shea pick and roll, corner 3, knock it down. Jalen Williams needs a very similar game. Chet Holmgren needs a very similar game. They need to out-rebound Indiana again. They need to basically establish themselves and what they do really well. Because if they come out flat in Game 3 in Indiana, Indiana's crowd's going to take over, and that might be a really tricky situation to be in, right? And I think you need to see that consistent OKC that you could say, all right, they had their bad Game 1. It's to be expected. They usually have one per series. Now they need to establish how much of a great team they are and how much of a better team they are to Indiana, right? So, and if they're not consistent, Indiana will beat them. It's that simple. Indiana's also that good that if they have OKC has an off night again, Indiana's the team to beat them because how much they can score, put pressure on them, and they will be at home, which I think will matter in this game particularly.
Yeah, and OKC would probably, you can't bank on Aaron Wiggins going for 20 and Caruso going for 20 every night. So if they could get 10, you win. Right. It's one of those things where like you may not be able to replicate this exact game, but Jalen Williams could be more efficient, right? Chet could maybe hit another 3. Shea could maybe hit a 3 or 2, right? And maybe there could be some other clutch shots from like Cason Wallace or Lou Dort could potentially show up and start hitting some threes, right? So
Lou Dort had 3 points tonight. Carson Wallace had 4 points tonight. It's okay because Caruso and Wiggins had a big night, and that kind of outweighed it. So you can kind of switch those two around. That's okay, but you can't bank on that every game. You're right.
Yeah, and
so you need them to kind of step up a little bit more.
Exactly. So, next game, just do it all over again. Exactly what you did. Just do it all over again. There's really no analysis for it. Just what you did in Game 2, money. Do that next game.
This should be the film session in the OKC room. You see that? You see you hit that 3? Just do that again, and we win. SGA, you see how you did that pick and roll and you kicked it out to the corner and you made the shot? Yes, you did. You see how they double teamed you and you went right through the double team and they fouled you and made an and one? Just do that again. Yeah, we'll be fine, guys. That's it.
You
You see
literally.
how we collapsed when they got into the paint and we stole the ball and we created 25 turnovers? Just do that again and we win the game. No problem, guys. That should be it. Everybody can go leave and go do whatever they want in practice. And now just go shoot around. That's it.
But Indiana, they got to do something. And like, for me, I don't know if like they could, because I think they got their win out the way. I think they had their stroke of luck. I don't think that they can consistently lock up this team for 3 more wins. Not even 3 more games. 3 more wins. They got to get 3 wins. So Indiana, for me, is in a tough spot.
It would have to be... They would have to prove it first, and then you could say it with confidence, but you just can't say it with confidence right now that OKC can lose 4 games to them. You just can't. Indiana would literally have to play a perfect Game 3, a perfect Game 4, and a perfect Game 5. Like, literally, perfect basketball, which doesn't exist anywhere. So, it would have to be some time... this would be the greatest finals win if they are able to eke it out. I feel like. Because I feel like they're so outmatched. But they are the team that can compete with OKC because of their scoring. That is the one thing going for them. They can score and they will score. That's just who they are. It's a matter of will OKC falter. And that's a testament to how good OKC is, that they have to be the ones to fuck up.
Yo, ain't that some shit? They literally, Indiana's like, oh God, please miss this open 3, please. Oh, thank you. Oh, please don't make this defensive rotation. Oh, okay, yes, you went under the screen. Yes, thank you so much for being bad at basketball. Oh, please don't block the shot. Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yeah, let's go. Like they had. You can't make a layup right now. Oh, yes. Oh, we're running. Yes. Like they forced damn near 30 turnovers, and they lost the game. Like Indiana. It's weird because like they're a good team, but like they're clearly outmatched, but they could win. So it's like it's so weird because like it's
such a weird series.
They're worse than OKC objectively, but they are in every game.
Yeah.
So we'll see for Game 3.
It's funny. They're losing by 15. You're like, oh, they can come back from this. Yeah.
Son, I was thinking the same thing. Bro, I'm looking in the fourth quarter. Right, Tyrese Halliburton hits that corner 3. They call timeout. I'm like, oh, shit.
Like, about to do it again.
Like, oh, no. Oh, no. Please.
About to strike again.
I'm like, please don't. Please let me get it in 5, please. But yeah, we'll see for Game 3 on Wednesday. Should be another good game. OKC, you do the exact same thing you did. Don't change a damn thing. Maybe change like one thing, but that's it. And Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton, you have to be the guy that provides you with all the scoring. You have to drop 30. You have to. It's a non-negotiable. You have to drop 30 points every
He's got to act like
single game.
He's either got to have a triple-double or he has to drop 30 and be a star player. He has to. Because it's like the balanced scoring does not work, and he has to match what Shai does. He has to.
Yeah. And they have to be better defensively, which I don't know if they can, but they are going to have to try. Like, on these rotations, you know exactly where you're supposed to be. It's awful coaching, right? Shout out to the YouTube channel. It's just awful coaching by Rick Carlisle. Like, your players aren't where they're supposed to be on defensive switches, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're in drop coverage, right? Which why are you in drop coverage? Shai's just gonna walk into the lane and get an easy floater, easy mid range, right? But then if you're sending 2, and then you kick it out, you have to know that you gotta rotate. Just rotate down to the corner because they're gonna swing, swing, swing. Why, Aaron Neesmith? Why are you just sitting in the paint? For what? There's nothing there for you. I don't get it, but those are the adjustments I would like to see from Indiana. I'm done analyzing this game because shout out OKC. They validated my ego a little bit in this game. So we'll see. Any other thoughts? Any other things that OKC or Indiana needs to work on?
No, I think we pretty much hit every point. Game 3 should be a lot of fun. Should be a great crowd as well. Should be pretty electric atmosphere, and hopefully we see the trophy in the logo on the hardboard.
Yeah, because they you know what I don't like, and this is off topic from the series. I don't like the logos on the court being digital. I don't like that. I like it when it's actually on the hardboard.
It should be physically there, and like it shouldn't be that difficult, right?
They used to have it.
No problem. They did it for the in-season tournament, so you could do it.
So you telling me they can't put the trophy in the right across the half court line? They can't do that actually, physically.
They had like 2 weeks to prepare too.
It's not like
that's how you know Adam Silver don't want these teams in here.
It's not like it's like sponsors. It's your fucking trophy that they're playing for. Just put it on the damn court.
But the sponsors they have on there too, which is crazy. Like you could adjust the court and make it and fix it. So I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know why they didn't do it. Maybe they're trying to do like a reverse jinx. I don't know.
Yeah, because they didn't have that for game 1.
That's what I'm saying. And Adam Silver was there tonight.
NBA, I'm on to you. NBA.
Fix it.
Yeah, fix it, Adam. Just like the All-Star game. Fix it! All right. But thank you guys for watching. This has been the breakdown, the analysis of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. And we'll see you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys back here for Game 3. Take it easy. Peace.